You ever feel hollow? Not from hunger, not from sleep deprivation, but from something deeper, less nameable? A kind of inner erosion? You show up, you pay the bills, you answer texts with the right emojis, you smile when expected. But beneath the polished surface, there's a quiet heaviness. Not loud, not dramatic, just always there. This isn't the kind of pain that limps or bleeds. It's the kind that seeps into your breath, your patience, your ability to feel joy. It arrives as irritation over nothing, as a clenched jaw in traffic, as that strange fog in your thoughts at 2 p.m. A slow leak of energy you can't trace. You're not burnt out in the way people say. You're slowly dissolving into numbness. This is the pain we rarely name. The invisible bruises that build up from surviving day after day without a moment to exhale. From holding it all together while no one notices the cost. It's not weakness. It's not dramatic. It's a silent scar, etched into your nervous system from years of swallowing emotion to keep moving. You don't need to explode to be in pain. You don't need to cry to be exhausted. Sometimes, the ones who carry the most are the quietest. So if this sounds like you, pause. Not forever, just long enough to remember. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to be more than what you produce. You're allowed to put the weight down, even if just for a moment, because healing begins not when the world slows down, but when you do. And peace isn't earned by pushing harder. It's reclaimed by giving yourself permission to let go. Silent scars and the unspoken gravity of pain. There exists a breed of suffering too discreet for language, a quiet affliction that leaves no visible trace, yet etches deep impressions beneath the skin. These are not wounds that bleed, but echoes that reverberate beneath the surface, silent scars that ferment in the dark corners of our psyche. In a world intoxicated by momentum, where valor is equated with output and triumph is measured in how swiftly we get over it, there lies a hidden fatigue, one that no amount of sleep or green juice can repair. The weight you carry? It may not be physical. It may be sorrow in camouflage. When your skull pounds with no cause, when your limbs sag under invisible burdens, when clarity eludes you like mist, ask yourself, is this merely stress? Or is this the long shadow of unresolved ache, a whispering pain crouched within, asking not to be managed, but unshackled? Pain does not fade, it burrows. Unattended anguish does not dissipate, it ossifies. It coils into your breath, distorts your posture, becomes the silent architect of your exhaustion. What you call tension may well be residue from betrayal left unreconciled. What you call fatigue may be remnants of rejection unwept. Over time, this covert grief weaves itself into your muscles, infiltrates your habits, colonizes your ability to rest. You do not simply burn out, you collapse beneath the weight of stories you were never allowed to grieve. These unspoken wounds, born of heartbreak, pressure, isolation, are not erased by time. They are archived in your nervous system, waiting, dormant, not dead. And here is the marrow of the matter. To dislodge pain, you must first acknowledge its silhouette. To emancipate yourself, you must first enter the room where the ache resides. This is not weakness. It is sacred rebellion, not collapse, but confrontation. Healing begins not in forgetting, but in noticing. You cannot release what you deny, and you cannot mend what you mask. To the ones holding families together, managing life's ledger with silent grit, know this: your tiredness may be less about how much you've done and more about how much you've had to bury to keep going. Let this be your permission to pause, to hear, to heal. The pain didn't vanish. It just learned how to hide. And now, it's asking to be seen. Anna is 32. She works in marketing, keeps herself busy, and appears calm. But every night, she lies awake staring at the ceiling. Her chest feels tight. Her mind races. No major trauma, no breakdown, just a slow erosion of joy. What's wrong? Nothing and everything. She's carrying years of emotional weight, the silent scars of rejection, criticism, self-doubt, the pressure to be enough. She never talks about it, but her body feels it. Her spirit dims from it, like Anna. Many of us don't need a major breakdown to realize we're in emotional pain. Sometimes it's the accumulation of small hurts that build the heaviest walls. So how do we begin to release pain like this? Step 1. Name it to tame it. You can't heal what you won't acknowledge. Begin by observing your own patterns. Do you always feel the need to please others? Do you avoid certain conversations because they feel too heavy? Do you often feel unworthy, even when things go well? These patterns are signs of pain. They are clues to where your emotional wounds live. Write them down. Speak them out loud. Share with someone you trust. Let go of the silence. That's where pain festers. Key phrase used: pain, let go, release. Step 2. Make space in your body, not just your mind. Pain is not just mental, it is physical. Unprocessed emotions lodge themselves into the body like energetic knots. To begin to release, we need gentle practices that help us reconnect. Somatic breathwork. Breathe deeply into the areas of your body that feel tense. Imagine your breath melting the tightness. Body scanning. Lie down and slowly bring awareness to each body part. Ask, what emotion is stored here? Wait. Listen. Tremor release. Let your body shake gently. Yes, literally. It's a natural mammalian response to trauma and tension release. These aren't just wellness trends. They're biological mechanisms that help us let go. Repeated theme: release pain, let go, silent scars, emotional tension. Step 3. Let go of the timeline. Healing isn't linear. There's no calendar for when pain should be done. But every day you practice awareness and compassion, your body begins to trust you again. Here's the truth. Most people carry silent scars for decades because they wait for a perfect moment to heal. But the only moment that matters is now. Let go of perfection. Release the need for full control. Healing begins with presence, not performance. A daily release ritual, 5 minutes, once a day. Here's a simple practice to start reclaiming peace. Sit quietly, eyes closed. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Whisper, "It's okay to feel. It's okay to rest. It's okay to release." Breathe deeply. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. Imagine your silent scars, old memories, emotions, gently floating out like mist. You don't have to force anything. Just make space. The pain didn't arrive overnight. But with practice, it will begin to release. What is freedom truly? It is not the sterile fantasy of a life unbrushed by pain. No, freedom is the hush that settles when you stop flinching at the ache. It is the bold stillness of the soul that no longer cowers when old wounds stir. It's the tender art of unclasping, fragment by fragment, every shard you've buried beneath the smile, to trace your way home to yourself. To let go is not a surrender to forgetfulness, but a deliberate pilgrimage inward. You do not erase what was. You simply stop clutching it like it's your lifeline. You loosen your grip on the stories that gnaw, on the versions of you shaped by survival, on the echoes you mistook for truth. To release is a practiced grace. It is not born of impulse, but of quiet strength. Like learning to exhale after years of holding your breath without noticing. Healing is not a linear climb. It is the unraveling of grief in places you forgot were bruised. It is the aching beauty of meeting yourself without a. Sometimes, peace is not a loud arrival. It slips in, subtle as dusk, when you're not resisting, when you've grown tired of battling ghosts, when the agony no longer controls the narrative, when you no longer confuse tension for identity. You stop expecting closure and start living in openness. You stop waiting to be over it and start living through it. This kind of peace does not deny the past. It simply denies the past the power to define your present. It coexists with memory, but no longer bends to it. To let go, then, is not weakness. It is sacred defiance. It is the moment you choose presence over punishment. The moment you choose to be whole, even with the cracks. And from those cracks, light returns. This is your permission to pause, to release, to breathe again without apology. Let the past be part of your story, not your sentence. The pain came, and yes, it shaped you. But now, you choose. You choose to let go. You choose healing. You choose peace. If this article stirred something in you, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it too. Together, we can break the silence around emotional pain and learn how to let go. Gently, completely.